we would see Team Sonic as well as Tom and Maddie entering into this lake area. They would see that there's no sort of, besides seeing a massive chain above with a ball, they realize that Robotnik could be up there. However, their eyes are attached to a massive buzz bomber, or a massive bee. Meanwhile, on the Mecha Bee, as it flies above nearby the water, we would see Agent Stone looking through some old files as well as recording some more soap operas for Dr. Robotnik. He would be looking through them all on the which ones are the best of the week kind of thing, while also sorting out some other Eggman Empire things, including more trademarking and new robot designs, ones that will be much more sufficient in the eyes of the Doctor. As he begins looking around, ticking it all off, Amy tells him that this isn't right, and Stone says that, well, yes, it's not right. He says that he's with Robotnik, and Robotnik will soon control all of time and rule the world. But Amy says that he doesn't know what he's doing. Stone is caught off guard by Amy's message and asks how exactly. Amy tells him that that stone will cause more damage to him than the entire universe. And not only will it pull apart time, but the entire world. And, well, Stone himself looks at Amy with a bit of confusion. He states that, well, he tries to contact Robotnik to see if he can, talk to him. But Robotnik doesn't respond, too busy in his quest. And Stone tries to contact Robotnik even more, but it still doesn't work properly. Amy then tells Stone that instead of working for Eggman, he should join them. But Stone doesn't want to, as he states that he is much better here with Robotnik, and he would give his life to save him so that he can continue on. However, the Buzz Bomber, the Mecha Bee, gets hit with some attacks by some boulders. As Stone investigates on the security cameras, he sees Sonic and Knuckles charging and attacking the Buzz Bombers. Agent Stone then sends out some other egg drones to attack them, and a battle begins between them all as Tom and Maddie hide down below. Tails gives them a couple of gadgets for them to use to destroy some of the drones that are flying down below. Sonic tells Knuckles it's time to use the big attack, and Knuckles asks if it's time, to which Sonic says yes, it is, Knuckles. And Knuckles gets ready, charging up his fists, as he decides to run directly towards the Mecha Bee, charging up his fists as they start to glow. Knuckles summons in the air the Flames of Disaster, punching out the wings, as well as damaging the outsides, destroying the defense mechanisms, causing the entire bee to come collapsing down into, well, a tree. Tails manages to hack into the Buzz Bomber's defense systems, disarming all the badniks in the area. As they all fall to the ground, some of them even fall into the water and get electrified, causing an explosion. As Stone crawls out from the wreckage of the Bee-Bot, the Mecha Bee, he's ultimately stopped by none other than Knuckles, who still calls Agent Stone the Goat Milker, which Stone really doesn't like. And, well, Sonic and the others, as well as Knuckles, they tell that it's over. Where is Robotnik? Stone tells them where he is, as he points upwards. Tails then uses his handcuffs and cuffs Stone to a tree. Stone tells them that the Eggman will get them. But Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, as well as Amy, who got free, they decide to head on up. And they jump onto the chain and climb their way up to Little Planets. However, before they go, Sonic tells Tom and Maddie to keep an eye on Agent Stone to make sure he doesn't do anything crafty. And they agree. As the team heads up all the way up to the top of Little Planet, they would be in all awe of it, being all surrounded by this mechanized chain, controlling it all. However, they would notice that a couple of egg drones are also there. Knuckles smashes a couple of them, Tails uses his gadgets, Amy smashes a couple with her hammer, and Sonic spin dashes into a couple. They come to the conclusion that, well, Eggman has set up defences. Meanwhile, down below, Tom and Maddie keep an eye on Agent Stone, before Stone asks, why did they adopt Sonic and his little friends? Well, Tom admits that they kept Sonic around because, well, that he's family, and that he saved them, and, well, he was essentially like a son or child. To which Stone ultimately groans at. However, Maddie tells Stone to shush. We would see Team Sonic. They would be walking around into the air, into some of the zones. They would all be examining on how beautiful the place looks, that it almost seems like a real life forest. Knuckles compliments that this just looks like everything he's seen on Angel Island, which was from my idea for the Knuckles Show Season 2. Tails comments that they should head this way as he holds up his Mars Electric, and as they follow Tails. Meanwhile with Robotnik, he and Metal are still wandering around creating more traps to set up for Team Sonic. Robotnik is amazed with all of this, the potential, this miniature civilization here, abandoned but still here, and the potential. Robotnik ultimately comes with an idea that he should surprise Team Sonic, give them a kind of warm welcome into his utopia. Robotnik holds up the Time Stone and thinks of his image everywhere. A city, an Eggman city. And it instantly creates, changing the future forever with a bad intention. Eggman then decides for another plan. He tells Metal that they're going to have company, so it's best to put on their best behaviour, and time to get rid of one stinking Hedgehog. Metal actually nods before he flies off, ready to battle it out, with some egg drones in the air to provide some aerial support. As Robotnik looks around, he takes a second to look at it all, his ego and everything. Meanwhile, Team Sonic manages to arrive at Stardust Speedway, and Amy admits that this is a colourful, visionary nightmare to look at. Even Knuckles admits that while it is colourful, he doesn't like it. And Tails says that he picks up Robotnik's signal, and Robotnik comes down on 2 nanotech egg drones, holding the, Time Stone, half the Time Stone. Metal Sonic is down below next to Sonic, and Eggman decides to stroke Sonic's ego again, by stating that the first one to get the other half of the Time Stone wins the stones altogether. But Sonic comes up with a different plan, a race. if Sonic wins, Eggman has to give him the stone. But if Eggman wins, then he gets all the stone. Then he gets the other stone. And so Eggman agrees, and his badniks begin to signal the 3, 2, 1, go, as Sonic and Metal race across Stardust Speedway, just like in Sonic CD. And we would see, of course, well, they would run across the city at high speeds, avoiding everything in sight, clashing along the way as Metal summons all sorts from egg drones and other fable sort of attacks, including egg drones with sound waves that fire out, catching Sonic off guard, firing even more missiles out, and even summoning lasers and activating his V Maximum Overdrive. Tails, Knuckles and Amy think that they should help Sonic, since Metal's playing dirty and is cheating in the race. And so all of them contradict to, well, they all play a part in helping Sonic win the race. Metal Sonic pushes Sonic off the course, and Tails comes flying in and spin throws him up to land on the course. Just when it seems Metal's won, he pulls down a massive statue of Eggman to crush Sonic, but Knuckles comes in and punches. And just before that, Amy shows up at the last minute as Metal's about to cross the finish line. Amy smacks Sonic with her hammer as he does a spin dash, sending him directly across into the finish line, hitting Metal, sending him falling off, or well, sending him flying up into the air and landing down below. Eggman heads over to the stand where he sees the other Time Stone half there, as he's just about ready to grab it and combine them together. Sonic calls out Eggman for being a liar, but Eggman tells him that, well, that's what he is, before combining the stones, transforming himself, gaining a new form. He transforms into what I call Miracle Eggman, which I think's based on an official form. I don't know, I think it's a form from somewhere, but his colour scheme is a reference to the Time Eater's eyes, as well as his mouth, as it's kind of the colours of the Time Eater. And so Eggman ultimately teleports back down to Earth, as the little planet comes crumbling down and Team Sonic falls into the lake. We would then see Robotnik free Agent Stone using time. He slows down everything and rewinds it back up. Tom, Maddie, Knuckles, Tails, Amy and Sonic are all surprised to see Eggman. And Eggman tells them that he's got a big plan in mind. As he then grabs onto Agent Stone, Metal Sonic flies with him, and he teleports back to the Death Egg. Eggman tells Stone that he feels great. His power is immense. I feel everything. Time itself in the palm of my hands. After that, Robotnik teleports them to New York City, where he has a plan. He uses the Time Stone's energy and converts New York City, scanning everything, and with one blast using his power, he changes New York, turning it into Eggman Land, a twisted empire for his own, creating a bad future for everyone, as all the citizens and people turn into badniks. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy and Tom try to figure out how they're going to get to stopping Eggman, but Tails said that he's put a tracker on Metal Sonic and has figured out that they're in New York City. And so the group head there using a warp ring. As Sonic and co begin looking around Eggman Land, they are horrified at what they're seeing. What used to be New York is now a robotic empire. However, they're cut short by Metal Sonic, who comes in and fights off Sonic, as the two of them race around Eggman Land, which is not only epic, but it would also have some OVA callbacks, which would be really fun to see. As Tails tries to intervene, however, more badniks are showing up. Eggman uses time to manipulate everything. As the badniks be destroyed, Eggman simply rewinds time, so that the badniks never are destroyed. So it really adds more tension in the final act of the film. Metal Sonic would be more intimidating this time, as he's been juiced up on some of Eggman's time abilities. But Sonic still manages to overthrow him. Metal still fires a beam out and is about to kill him. However, meanwhile with Agent Stone, he jumps into a mech Robotnik made for him called the Mean Bean, which fires out coffee bean bombs. And, well, Tom and Maddie actually take down Agent Stone by using one of Tails' gadgets, which fries the mech completely, and he retreats to the Death Egg. Robotnik is disappointed in Stone, but he says he'll have to do it himself, and he tells Metal to keep attacking Sonic. Metal agrees and they go, but Robotnik decides to step into action, and he essentially uses his powers of speed to show up. He teleports everywhere. He's literally like, he states he's now the fastest thing alive. Metal Sonic begins to fight off Sonic as well, but Sonic avoids Metal. And, well, he continues. Tails overpowers Metal's programming, and Sonic surprisingly defeats Metal, sending him crash landing into, well, a sewer, where he gets flooded by all the sewer stuff. Sonic decides to head up and to stop Eggman, who's in his Death Egg, retreating with all the power, believing that he can fix his empire. Stone also is up there as well, as he's keeping an eye on everything. However, Eggman would ultimately taunt Sonic, stating that since he shows him that Tom and Maddie got turned into badniks and now under his control, Sonic ends up losing it completely, and he would charge up with an electric fist, and with one powerful punch, it would knock the Time Stone out of Eggman's control. And as Sonic picks it up, he begins to feel the power of time all around him, as the whole world begins spinning ridiculously quick. And with one blast of energy, he transforms into what was online called Miracle Sonic. Miracle Sonic uses his powers and reverses the damage caused to the world, including what Eggman did, as Eggman tries to fly away using the Death Egg, which it retreats. Miracle Sonic reverses the effects of Eggman Land, changing it from what it was back to New York City. And as an added bonus, he even has that Sonic face winking at the end of CD. As Sonic teleports away, Stone tells Robotnik that the Death Egg has no power, which Robotnik ultimately realizes they're gonna go crashing into the ocean, before letting out a simple "oh." Then we cut back to Tom and Maddie. And, well as Team Sonic, and they're all happy to see that they're all fine and alive, and they decide to head back home, since the day has been saved, and nothing really else should be added, really. It was quite an adventure, honestly, an adventure to be remembered. However, about the Time Stone, Sonic puts it down on a log and Amy smashes it to make sure that nobody ever uses it again. Cut to credits. But of course, the post-credits scene, and we would see Central Park as Silver the Hedgehog enters on through, claiming that Sonic ruined his future, and now he's going to pay for it. Permanently. And then the other post-credit scene shows Metal Sonic still alive. As he manages to wash up on the shore, he not only claims revenge upon Sonic, but his programming glitches out because of the Time Stone. Its energy, it ends up releasing him from Robotnik's control. Now with a free will and being able to do anything, he looks at his blueprints, which he managed to nab earlier in the film, and begins to create more Metal Sonics that look exactly like him, to create an army of Metal Sonics to his control. And that's the final post-credit scene for this film.